Let's see if this is going to work now. Happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Today is another beautiful day. We started off the week on a good note. Felt a little sluggish, a little unproductive in the sense where today was an office day. We also had to follow up on our meetings, follow up with our business advisor, Patrick Bet-David, today at 11 o'clock. And that's what happens when you usually have those early morning or late morning meetings. You can't really do much before and you can't do much afterwards because the gears are already turning. But we were able to set everybody up in the sense of work today. We got a lot done, the crew-wise, office-wise. We were able to keep up with them. And now I wanted to jump on with you guys, share with some of the insights that I've gained from my masterclass today with Patrick Bet-David. So today we were piggyback off the topic of basically what do you do when you start to obtain a little success in your ventures. How are you supposed to feel? On Friday, when I was speaking with Patrick, that was the topic at hand. We wanted to talk about, hey, basically in the last 8 months, we've started doing everything that we said we were going to do in the terms of we have taken action on everything that we said we were going to do. We said we're going to connect the community, hosting events throughout the U.S., meeting up with individuals, learning their stories, growing with them. We also talked about in different capacities of leadership. Hey, to be a good contractor, you need to have these qualities. Setting standards, setting a reputation for ourselves. Now we also went into the avenue of education. We started to educate our classes. We know we have a lot to work on. We know we have a lot of more students that we want to reach. We know we need to get more people certified. Then our media channel, bringing awareness to the trade, doing our field trips, seeing how they correlate to us at Energize Us. So basically in the last 8 months, we have done everything that we already said we were going to do. That is a big check in our book. So internally, check. There's opportunities where we diversified ourselves. There was opportunities where we now took the front row. We took the lead. We took the initiative in creating events. Not only do we have single-day events, but we held our first 3-day convention. Many of you on this live have already been to our event. So we appreciate all you guys for supporting us in that aspect. Not only that, we already started to learn what things could we improve on. We already had our Q&A sessions where we got to speak with individuals who already went to the event, ask them what they wanted to learn. So we already have a roadmap of what we've already accomplished, as well as now what we want to improve on and bring for the next year coming up. And that's going to be exciting because now, I don't know if you guys heard, we have 7 to 9 events that we have planned for 2025. And what that's so beneficial, what that's so encouraging is the fact that we took a scenario that we were uncomfortable in. We took a scenario where we were nervous about, didn't have all the answers. We took initiative, felt the exposure, lived, breathed it, embraced it, to the point where when we came back home, we debriefed with everybody. We looked at the good, bad, and ugly of what we did, what we can work on, as well as what we can do for next year. And now we're all filled with the same vigor. We're filled with the same enthusiasm where we're going to go harder for next year. So that's what we're super excited about. So 2025, we're now in a position where we want to be in. We have the exposure. We have the experience now in the sense of we know what to expect now. We have all our analytics. We have all our data for ourselves. We know how much material we're going to need. We know roughly how much a venue spot's going to be. We know how much time we're going to need to prepare for it. We have all that data sitting. And now that's all internal. And basically, nobody gets to see what we are doing on the back end. So this is all learning opportunities from our end. Now we take all that stuff, we put it in a package, and now we're speaking and following up with the individuals we're working with. So there's the individuals we're having meetings with them, seeing how Did we meet their expectations? Expectations versus realities. What was that? What could we learn from that? What could we glean from that? Also, we've been speaking with our sponsors, because now that we completed and held our first event, now it's, hey, just like in business, who's your number one customer? It's always going to be a repeat customers. Work on referrals. So we touch base with them. What could we do? What could we learn? What could we do for you guys? They tell us XYZ, implement it. We got to take care of the people. So now that we're getting this package, now we're ready to roll out for 2024, the second half, and then 2025 is going to be a beautiful year. So with all that in mind, we got 2025 cooking. We know we have the value. We have the experience. We're going to start selling out these things for 2024, 2025. We have contractors. We have other brands, companies now reaching out to us directly saying, how do we get a part of this? And we're saying, hey, right now, we're going to be honest. We're still working all those kinks out, but we want to get with you. We want to work with you because we love something long-term. We love longevity. We love being in a position to be not just a one and done, hit it and quit it type of scenario. We want to make this a long-term venture with you guys. So we're getting the attention. We're getting the noise. We're getting the analytics. We're getting the views. We're getting the prospects. Anybody at this moment can think, I'm King Kong. I'm King Kong. I'm the man. What I say goes now. And I recognize that in business, that's usually right before the downfall of any empire, any person, any celebrity, is when they think they're untouchable. So what I'm truly appreciative about having individuals and a team all together is the fact that we can constantly learn from each other, get the live, real-time feedback. That's what I'm looking forward to. So with that in mind, I go to PBD because with PBD this year, he has held 4 or 5 events already that I went to. We already went to his facility in Fort Lauderdale. Then we went to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's estate. Then we went back to his headquarters for another event. New York now, Kentucky Derby. And in every event that I go to and I have my opportunity to have my one-on-one with PBD, I'm always asking him like, hey, what's this type of life? What's that type of life? When you come into an area, a sector, start getting attention that you never had before, how should you react? And he says the same thing. It all comes down to, hey, learn and put yourself in those scenarios so you can keep learning from others. We understand this position where we're at can go away in a matter of a blink. You know, it comes, it goes, but we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to stay afloat, learn from the experiences, learn from others, keep applying, keep providing value on top of everything. He goes, make sure you provide that value, make sure you provide a sense of camaraderie, a sense of connectivity, a sense of continuity with everybody. Because the second you say, hey, I'm trying to sell you something, hey, I'm doing this, doing that, that's where the disconnect happens. He goes, we are in business, so yes, we need to turn a profit. Yes, we need to make some money. But at the same time, you have to make sure that the people are not feeling that. You have to sell experiences. And that's what I wrote down. So today, I had my meeting with him. I'm just taking on notes. After my live tonight, this is where I type it up on my computer. So I got a nice PDF where I can refer back to it. But he said, always sell experience. Nobody is willing to put up their own money to take care of strangers. If you are a contractor and you're doing well and you're broadcasting to the world that you're doing well, show the people what the trades can give other people. Show them by example of what the trades have to offer. You have to take initiative. You have to show the love to the people. You have to give people an experience. Sell the experience, add a value to that experience. You're going to do great. So that's the topic of today. It went back to leadership, and it also went to how should I feel? How should you feel? How should I feel when success starts to come? Success starts to build up. You know you want to take advantage of that. You want to use it because that tells you you're on the right track. But at the same time, how do you handle the success? We know the good and the bad. Either extreme is bad. You don't want to think you're the best. You don't want to think you're God sent. You don't want to think you're Jesus walking on water. At the same time, you don't want to downplay it. You want to make sure you're living up to basically the feedback that you're getting. Because if someone says, hey, you're doing good, you don't want to go, oh, I'm the best. I'm number one. But then when someone tells you I'm doing good, you don't want to say, oh, no, I got to take the compliment. It helps you gauge on if you're on the right track. Of course, without that being said, of course, there's always ways to improve. That's that middle part. You want to be in that middle part. So when I was talking to Pat and we were going over everything, where is it? So when I talked about that, he talked about constant growth, putting yourself in scenarios where you're in a room full of people who know more than you, or in the sense of business who are doing more than you, because you want to continuously grow in that capacity. And what I loved about it, isn't that right? You want to continuously grow in that capacity. So you want to be in opportunities, in rooms that you are growing. So when he said, for example, Will, I know what you bring in a year annually in my electrical contracting business. So he goes, if you're in a room full of everybody of your peers and below, you're going to think you're King Kong. You're going to think you're this. You're going to think you're that. And you want to make sure that you are constantly growing. So if there's an individual out there or a group out there that you're able to look up to, work with, that makes what you make in a month or on a weekly basis, that's where you should be going to. He also told me how he personally, even up to this day, he started going to events when he was 23 years old, and he's still in his 40s and he's still going to events. He goes to 4 or 5 events per year still for character development. He said that should never be something that you put off on the back burner. That is something that you constantly need. You constantly need those opportunities. You constantly need to grow. Why is that so important? Because with growth comes new exposures, comes to new business ideas, comes to new opportunities. You want to make sure that everybody that you're working with is going along in that suit. So that was so beautiful having Patrick Bet-David break that down for us. What was beautiful in the sense that he also wanted us to touch base on is he wants to make sure the beautiful balance between competition and surrounding yourselves with people who are better than you, as well as people that you can help. So he doesn't like to say, hey, put yourself in a room with people that are not doing as good. He wants to be you want to be in a position where you can grow with somebody, but at the same time, teach somebody. And that's a very important quality that I wanted to teach with everybody. If you can now learn from somebody, retaining information, the best way of retention, do you guys know that phrase? The best way of retaining something is what? Do any of you guys happen to know? It's basically repeating it, teaching others. And how freaking perfect is that also when it comes to school and education? When you're in a position where you're teaching other people, you're also working on yourself. You're exactly teaching. Teach it. Yep. You see, you guys are actually hitting it. So we got, I appreciate you guys. Awesome. Awesome. What I appreciate about this is now we have PBD over here saying, hey, Will, you got to be in rooms with people better than you. I'm loving that. Cool. But what's so scary about those opportunities is, once again, I'm the little guy in a room full of all these bigwigs. And what we have to keep learning and keep working on is the fact that, yes, there may be people bigger than you. You need that growth. You need that challenge. You need that muscle memory. You need that strain to keep to grow. But at the same time, you need individuals who are, I don't want to say beneath you. They just don't have the exposure that you have, or they don't have the work experience that you have. But you don't view them as someone beneath you. You show them and you look and you teach them and you talk to them in the way of, how can I help that individual? So he goes, that's a perfect balance you want to be. At one time, they were where you are now. Exactly. And that's the part where I feel like a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people get a little bit of fame, a lot of people get a little bit of attention, and they're over here thinking that they're slinging it, they're King Kong, chain down low. But we have to remember all of this. One, it's only possible by the glory of God, you know, undeserved kindness. Number two, if you put yourself in a position now where you're helping others, if you're teaching others what you learn, now that's also, yes, it's helping other people, but at the same time, you're using that as an opportunity for yourself. That's muscle memory. That's getting your reps in. You're getting those opportunities to teach individuals. That's what's so beautiful. That's what's beautiful. That's what we have to keep doing when it comes to a sense of a business, what we have to do in sense of owning and operating your own school. And so it applies so much because now we're in a school. We want to be able to give you guys the tools that you need. So with that in mind, that topic comes down to leadership. How do I view myself compared to others? How do I view myself behind closed doors? How do I view myself when it comes to correcting things that I may have wronged or ways that I can improve on? And now, how do I view myself when it comes to giving that information to other individuals? That's what we want to go over and consider today. So today, our mastermind for today, I wanted to go over what we talked about with Patrick Bet-David in our event. He just talked about keep looking through things with many lenses. That was today in my second question. When I went and I asked him, now that we're getting this attention, how do I know if somebody who wants to work with us has good intentions at heart? Good intentions at heart. What's their motive? Just to be safe. And what I appreciate about him, he goes back to talking about his network. He goes about talking about the people that he has around in his life. He has individuals who can now filter through scenarios with him. He has individuals who are going to not only have his best interest at heart, but also give him some heads up, some warnings of other people that may be taking advantage of a situation. So when we were having those conversations, it was so nice to see that, because even, of course, I'm thinking PBD level, you know, you got a celebrity, basically. Anybody can take or want to take advantage of an individual like that, his name, his likeness, et cetera, et cetera. But we want to make sure that we continue to give people value, have close group of people around you who's looking out for your best interest, as well as leading the way, taking initiative, and showing people what is possible out there. And that's just basically what I wanted to share with you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. I love the way that we've been growing so far, the way that we've been communicating with everybody, the way that we've been working side by side with you all. And I just wanted to hear if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything on the topic of leadership today. I'm going to send a few invites out to individuals who I personally look up to in that capacity. We just sent a few posts about them. So if you guys want to jump on, feel free. No pressure, just deny it if you can't. But what I appreciate about these individuals is how they are taking initiative in their own capacity. And once again, these individuals are working in different sectors of the U.S., working in different sectors of education. And there's so much to learn from these individuals. I know you guys just been seeing a few of the videos that we've been doing. And here's one of them, Serge. But what I appreciate about having these individuals, not only are they part of the school, but what I always tell them is how appreciative I am for them, because it feels like everybody, and you know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Serge, but it feels like everybody who's a part of the school has been pushing the skilled trades in some way, shape, or form in their own capacity, in their own location. And none of us were talking to each other. And it's just like now how we're finding each other. So it's like that weird bridge that's been connecting lately. So
it's weird how that word that people use a lot, and I've always heard it, that synergy.
Yeah.
And now it's just like an actual, this is synergy happening on all different levels of all these different folks in different places that all have the same feeling for the trades and education and what we need to expand and be these, take us to the next level. And it all came together, and sometimes on the timing, but this is us being able to find ourselves and find others like-minded and social media is an awesome thing because it helps us do that.
Yeah. And what's so crazy about it in a nutshell that I thought, one was, I keep going back. It's so weird how everyone, like, you were doing your thing way before I knew you were contacting the DIR. You're over here banging on them. People, like, just like today's post, like 30 minutes ago, people are like, yo, tell the DIR. And you're like, dude, I'm already working on that. So it's like that need was there. So many people are screaming at it. It's just so crazy how everyone was working at it at the same time.
It was. I just think that the funny thing is that I've been fighting the DR for a good year and a half, trying to make sure that they here in California that they follow the regulations as their intent was done or was laid out by the actual assemblyman who wrote that bill. Right or wrong, whether it's right or wrong, that was their intent. And so I've been fighting for my students, and in there, other people started coming to me and saying, hey, can you help me out? And so it pushed me to look for other measures to be able to get a mass group of folks to get them, to get us to be heard. Because the DIR and these government entities in every state, there's a government entity that you can't either get a hold of or you can't, no one answers your call, and that's what they've been doing for us for a long time. And I've been a subject matter expert for the DIR. So, I carry some weight when it comes to, hey, this is how I've been doing things for you. Why are you not doing things for everyone the same way? And it's really, it came down to where we had to really get some big heady hitters to come in and say, what is going on here? All these hundreds, if not thousands of electricians, have been affected. And I've been fighting for the trades just like you have, and fighting for our right to advance and to keep open these opportunities. And it finally, just the other day that I put up that or last week that I put my post up saying they finally admit that, hey, this is the way it's supposed to be done, even though they're not doing
we got to get better at it. Yeah.
Government entities, But the good thing is that I put them on blast, and this is how we get things done. It's whether it's right or wrong. I love education, having to have that requirement in California, but if the state doesn't follow what it says is how to apply for exam, and they're not doing that by the letter of the law, then it really screws us all over in the industry. Yeah. And for me, I'm just happy that at least we get to see now. And I'll tell you this: I've been getting these texts daily. Hey, I've got my approval. Hey, after all these years, hey, I'm coming back to California because now they finally approved, which is amazing because this is our love for the trade.
I love that. Did all that start before or after, or before or during COVID?
That started right after COVID. So, or I should say, during COVID, there was a change of leadership here in the California DIR, and so immediately after COVID was kind of done, then it became a new interpretation, and that stopped the flow of approvals. It went from a whole bunch of approvals because everyone's doing their time and doing the paperwork to now they're getting nitpicky and trying to find ways to not approve us. And that's what it felt like, because when they start targeting you for something that number one, you may never have been misinformed. Contractors in California never really followed all the rules either, or electricians. Sometimes they just don't know. We start working and we work, and if no one tells them, they don't know until all of a sudden they go to put their paperwork in. It's like denied. And so that's where I came in and said, hey, we've got to make this right for all electricians that have been misinformed or never informed or just never enforced a rule. And that's how it started to steamroll. And the DIR got a lot of, and to the day, they're still getting, a whole lot of phone calls, and I started a really good fire. But this is a fire that had to go. We had to really put the light on it and get our ability to open the doors for us to take this exam, which is for us here in California. It's our moneymaker. It's our life.
And I love how in that post again, once again, you just we posted today with you. I love how you said that, we're just starting in California, but this is for the all USA. This is going to be a steam engine, we're gonna be fighting on state levels, baby. We're gonna
totally, and this is where we get to see and see where, and there's states that don't have a standard, but that we get to fight for a standard too. That we get to do that for the industry, and everything just becomes better, and when we can all, if state by state cover at least the same requirements, then at least we all know that we have a standard. So when electricians travel, we know it's good. We know that no matter what state, they're pretty much like ours. We know you're good, but there's no straight line anywhere.
I can't wait for that, where they'll be like, where'd you go to school? Or, oh, you did the test prep? Oh, you're good. Or
exactly.
Or when they go for the interview, where'd you go? Oh, nah, yeah. Start on Monday. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And in the end, code is code, no matter where. It doesn't matter how they ask you, what they ask you. Code is code. Can you maneuver the code? You're awesome. You can do it. Getting more into it as you move your career is awesome. But if a state says, hey, you got to at least know this standard, here's the book. It doesn't matter. You'll learn. You'll pass any state because you know how to learn the code. And when states all are at least have that minimum requirement, and we know all our electricians are good. We're not burning down houses.
Exactly. Or roofs. Those solar guys. No, I'm joking. No, I love you guys. That's Francis. That's Rewire. He made that post about the solar guys. Well, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what comes. And today, when I had that meeting, I was thinking about everybody because it's so interesting to see how everyone's pushing the same thing. And that's what's I think is gonna be the deciding factor on the growth of this thing, because it's like everyone's pushing it. So it's like, even if someone has a bad game, you know what I mean? That you have the rest of the team. Or you just look at basketball, and I love the NBA, where even if there's an all-star and they double team the all-star, then the rest of the team makes points. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to see that growth. It's going to be awesome to see how everyone keeps growing together. I can't wait till we get some standards out there in Tennessee. Imagine that. Tennessee, they're over here with like, oh yeah, go for your test, and then Tennessee goes, man, there's 4 years of schooling, baby. They're gonna be like, what the hell? And then you're like, let's do it.
They don't know what's coming.
They don't, bro. We're gonna have you out there in City Hall, pushing that message, bro. That's gonna be fun. But how'd the week start off for you guys?
Cameron, how you doing out there?
Man, I'm doing well now. I've been sick ever since the growth convention, and I'm just now getting over it. So, I did a service call today, and that's about it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're still feeling it? Did you say?
Yeah, I kind of have a cough still. Man, I got COVID the day I left California, and I don't know how long I actually had it, but I went to the doctor and I tested positive for it like a couple of days after I got back, and had a really bad cough. I'm just now getting over the cough, and then I got pink eye while I had COVID in both eyes. Yeah. And then now I've had it for like a month, but I have an ingrown. It's disgusting. I have an ingrown toenail that I have to get surgically removed tomorrow.
What is going on, dude?
It rained. I'm telling you, dude. I told my friend the other week, we were talking about this kind of stuff of like, when everything's going too good for a long time, something's fixing to happen. And I was like, something's fixing to happen. Either something with my car, or someone's fixing to get sick, or something's going to happen. Usually when something happens, it's like one after another. And lo and behold, it was actually with me and all this health stuff coming up. But I'm fine. It's all good and everything. It's just an inconvenience. That's all.
Still
trucking, man. Still trucking. So.
And I was looking at the calendar.
But
let's see.
I've been meaning to make it a point to study for the electrical portion of my contractors exam. I passed the business and law exam already, and I just need to study for the electrical, like the calculations. But Serge, I've had a few people DM me since growth and just asking what I did to study for the test, and I tell them that I'm not a contractor. I'm working on that license here in Tennessee, but I've been referencing you and your page and promote the Surge method is awesome. And while I haven't tested yet, I know it works, and I've heard testimonies, and it's a really good system. So,
thank you. I appreciate Cameron. I'll send that link so you can jump on it and just check what we're doing to get that calculation back. when you're ready and you got some time when you're healed.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So I can throw you on one of my courses just so you can, as a refresher. It's always good to have a good refresher, but I appreciate it. Since the growth convention, I'll tell you what my class, and me and my VP Levina were talking about this. Our first class, and I've been doing these courses for a long time, but I never put myself out there. It was always with a small group of folks. And when I went on my own, our first class was about 4 folks. And then go back to our last class I had 50. I had 25 online from all, everywhere, and then 25 in class. And I was topped off. I couldn't even add more. And so it's, being able to get that, that exposure and people understanding that how important now that education part is of the trades, that they really see the difference, not only in pay and opportunities, but I think the Energize Us has really been a important facet in that aspect, to where it's really let people know, like, hey, you can be here, but imagine this is where we want to be eventually. Let's take the steps up. And my phone has been ringing off the hook, which is great. For me, it's all about getting the electricians and making them the best versions that they could be, and however I can help. I'm here to do that. And I think us as a group and leaders, and this is what Will's saying, even like this leadership, just I'm always when we get on our calls and our talks, I'm always in awe of just all you fellas, just all the group of how smooth everything is, because we understand how important it is to keep moving up in the trades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you get? You said your last class you had 50. Did you say that's the most you've had ever?
That's the most at 50. At 25 online, at 25 in class. Now I've had some very large groups for for companies when I do company, but not like individual one-on-one buying a ticket, coming into the show. So that for me lets me know that, number one, the trades see that, and here in California, they see the opportunity. And now seeing how the DIR is not even, expecting the educational part of it. Just give me 8,000 hours, we'll get you in the test. People now are, should be unafraid to test. We can do code and we can pass and have a much better, life and opportunity at a much higher wage.
So do you think the growth convention had something to do with that? Like, did you get some leads from the growth convention? That's why.
And before you answer that, Serge has been doing this way before, bro. Way before the growth.
I know he's been doing it for a long time. I just didn't know if there was a sudden spike since growth.
Like COVID.
Like COVID.
Like Cameron. Like
growth has put education on the spotlight. Now people are seeing that now more, instead of like, oh, that's just Sergio just talking about how his classes are, as opposed to, this is me saying, go get educated anywhere, be the best you can be, because it's the trades do this everywhere, and growth has really spotlighted that nationally, to where it's awesome to see the trades saying from New Orleans to Ohio to like, hey, what can I do to get better? What's the next step I take? And for me to be able to, look it up and say, this is what we need to do, and help move forward is to me kind of it's just very fulfilling. But growth has really made it more national for me to be able to get expose how to move up in that education factor, because we're all contractors, we're contractors, and we want the best workforce out there. But sometimes the workforce needs that shake, like, come on, man, you can do this. Why be just the electrician? Let's get certified, or be the owner, or come on in and join the electricians. Be an electrician. So I think it's been really, really huge.
I think I haven't sat in on your Sunday course yet, but I think the calculations at least is really good for anybody to refresh up on. Because I know for me, when I took what's called the LLE in Tennessee, I was spot on basic calculations, just like demand factors, load calculations, box fill pipes, like the easy stuff. And I had that stuff down. And then when I passed my test, I just forgot about it. I just go in there and do things how I usually do, and I forgot how to do all of them now. But yeah, I think it's always a good idea just to stay refreshed. I'm actually taking I think I'm sitting in one of Steve Cavaliers is teaching a couple classes this week on UF cable. So he invited me to come sit in. So I'm going to be learning about UF cable this week.
You see, this is so cool.
Last time I was at Steve's class, it was cool. Rudy was there. Had other folks that I saw at the growth place were on there. Just amazing to have that that absolutely. And Steve's just, that guy he's just smart. He's just super smart. I love how he really goes in depth on the code, and articles. So I enjoyed being there in that class. And he was actually helping me on a master calc. I've been doing a lot of master calcs lately. And so I like, when I'm thinking of doing a master calc, I want to get other masters in there to make sure we're going the right, the right path. And because there's so many little deviants that, depending on the wording, can change how someone does a calculation. So Steve was really good at that.
Yeah. And I think I even heard some feedback from growth. Like, I'll just give an example from Tad. I don't know if you met him. He was one of my buddies from Tennessee who came. But it's just so cool to meet you and Chad and Steve and others, but specifically y'all, because it's like before if we had a code question, we would either have to just call a former boss or Google it. And I think it's so cool that now we have y'all's phone numbers and contact at our fingertips. I can call or text you, Serge. I can call Chad German and be like, hey, I got this, what's up? And he'll immediately respond
and Chad texted me and he said that. Chad,
I was like, dude, huh?
Chad texted me the other day. He goes like, yo, that Tennessee kid's pretty smart. I'm like, what happened? He goes, he asked me about something the other day. And he's like, but what about this? He's like, no, you got it. So
yeah, I'm just saying, we were talking about it is, we don't realize so many people don't have that quick access, and a lot of people at growth made those connections, networked, and it's not just between us or whatever. So many people made connections and friendships, and it's just awesome, man. We all have each other's numbers and contact, and can ask anybody anything at any time. As far as business too, we got all those contractors that showed up to the event. If I have a serious business question, or not serious, if I have any questions, ask a group of guys on our Instagram page, hey, what y'all think? So there's nothing else like it.
I was still excited the fact that we can get full-grown men fly into something. Do you understand what that means?
That's really hard to get full-grown men to fly in something.
Do you understand contractors who could put life on pause to trust something? You know what that means? That's a high responsibility we have, Yeah. Man. Oof. Jeez.
And being able to have the resources, and that's just amazing, because even myself, where I get to call Steve, call Chad, call anyone, and just ask, because even I at certain points I'm like, that's a good one. Let me check it. And I love those kind of questions. I love being able to grow in the educational field, but to be able to get these other masters and all these all of you all just as peers and be able to bounce things off each other and getting each other's back in the trades is unheard of, because most of us were when we first started the trade. I know when I first started, it was hey, keep everything secret, or else someone's gonna take your job. As opposed to here's all the secrets. Let's do it. There's the let's all make a living here and make do what makes us happy, which is this is our work.
Yeah, that's just blows my mind.
Too. I live out in rural Tennessee, and a lot of the contractors that are in the area, which there aren't many that are stationed out here in Fayette County, but all of them are old school except for me and Tad. They're all old school. They've been doing they're generational electricians, and they do things the old school way. Still pencil, paper. They don't use apps. They drive around the Memphis area to try to find something at 10 different Lowe's and then complain. So I'm just saying that's just the old school mentality. And whenever you try to ask them a question about pricing, they think that you're about to steal something or undermine them. It's just look, there's enough work around here to go for everybody. But it's just a mentality thing. And I noticed that at the last meetup in February, when we had several local contractors who were all within an hour of each other, they were all sharing their prices with one another, and no one had an issue with it.
I love that. That just shows what the need is. People want to connect more than that they're afraid. That to me is amazing.
Oh, I think Serge is on.
Doing just contractors here in the area, and they're like, "Hey, come on by, because we want to talk about load counts, and so then we can see who can attend your class." Just things like that are happening because they see how it can be done. And there's, we see it all over the place where now you see more contractors coming together and really sharing. And that, I mean, this is what's really been, for me, the most exciting part is to see the trade really kind of open up.
Dang, that video we just posted, Serge, of yours, in less than an hour, we're already at 3K.
Wow. The analytics on that post are crazy.
They like your voice, the voiceovers, bro. They're liking yours.
I've been seeing that.
I got my voice back, by the way.
I know you had. It was a little sore, but it doesn't sound like that. We were running it through the AI.
Yeah, my girl kept saying, "Quit growling." I'm like, "This is me talking. It's not."
No.
Yeah, I think I complained to Will about that once too. Like, it's just AI, bro.
Yeah. That's wow. That just blew up. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the analytics on that one are wild, and the amount of just the amount of people commenting and all these different types of trades. It's actually really cool to see all the trades come in and try to defend themselves.
I'm talking about that's the one from Friday or something. I'm talking about the one 45 minutes ago.
Oh, that one too. Yeah,
that one's blowing up right now too. But the one last week was funny where the HVAC guys were like, "You think, dude?" That was funny. That's hilarious.
You love one that was like at 70K this morning, right?
It's at 70 right now. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's still going, man. But that was funny. Everyone's getting heated on that one. One guy, I'm going to confidently say it's HVAC. And then Serge is like, prove it. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, holy smokes.
We're just supposed to be from the trades because it's coming. It's coming. And the awesome thing is that no matter what trade we're in, everyone's proud of it. That's just what we do, and we're going to defend ourselves. And that's my favorite part is just seeing these other trades come in and put their sense. And that's the amazing part. That we're like, yeah, well, what's up? I get it too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of highly skilled trades out there. There's a lot of trades that really push education. But I think that seeing everyone put their input and showing off what they do and what they learn, that's amazing.
Yeah, this is funny, but it's healthy. Not competition. It's a healthy debate where you get to think. You know what I mean? Because I take it to the next level where we were inspectors, for the town, and if there was something wrong with utilities, plumbing, electrical, or HVAC, you can still move into your house if there was an HVAC problem. You can still go into the house if there's no plumbing. If it's electrical, it's deemed uninhabitable.
Yeah, that's true.
If I got to shut your meter off, they don't want no one in the house.
Yeah.
But if you don't have your AC, that's fine. You could be hot as hell all night if you want. You know what I mean?
That's habitable.
Yeah, that's habitable. It's still habitable.
It's habitable.
Yeah, plumbing. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have no running. That's fine. Yeah, but you don't have electrical, or the town pulls the meter. They like no one's allowed in.
In the over here in California, in the apprenticeship, and they had there was a module for HVAC, and for years, and in the end, they pulled it out because when it came to electricity, they said, "Well, what do you do with HVAC? We just change a board. I mean, first there's power. The power is good, but if it's the HVAC, we'll just change a board out. We're not soldering or getting into these. It's a sensor board, and so they just took that module out because for us, it's like." We got power there, hands off, and hand it off to the next trade because we got power there. That's that gets them going. But that's where we start to see the different parts of the trades, and even here, for example, in California, there's no carpenters don't get a certification. But if they go into a prevailing wage job, now they got to be certified. And now you see a bunch now having to take some tests to be able to try to pass an actual test here to be able to work on a prevailing wage job as a certified carpenter.
Actually, I'm already in bed.
Oh, you see, this guy had no power. I was about to say they were about to kick him out. How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother?
How you guys doing?
Good, and you?
I was checking the video that you done yesterday. I wasn't able to go on live.
Yeah.
That subject was nice yesterday with the pricing and everything.
Oh, with Peter.
Yeah, with Peter, with Nick.
And Nick, yeah. Oh man, no, I appreciate that, bro. But I haven't heard from you since growth. Wanted to get some of your feedback.
Oh, well, I'm been going like a crazy busy, working after hours until 7, 8, just to keep track whatever those days that I take off.
Yeah.
It's been crazy busy. Today we had like 7 staff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys doing good?
Yeah. We
Good.
make it today.
Good. Did you guys have a good time? Is there anything that we can work on, get better at? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
Did it grow?
Yeah.
I like everything. Like I was just trying to get my hands on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're in Connecticut with me, right?
Say that again?
You're in Connecticut with me.
Yeah, I'm an instructor.
So he flew in from Connecticut also, bro.
Which was a nightmare. I didn't flew for like 14 years, and then I took this trip, and there was just delay after delay because there was big rain over here.
Oh, sorry about that.
I make it work.
But you enjoyed it? Did you get to get a lot? Did you get to meet new people? That's number one.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I meet a lot of people. Like I would say, like especially on the account, I see on the account so many followers that they came through because I was wearing that shirt. It's not that I got a big thing with the business, but everyone, oh, where are you from? Or where you're from Connecticut? Actually, the guy from Jonard Tool is from Denbury, man.
Yeah. What was his name? Steve? No, Ed.
Yeah, where he say, "Oh, you by any chance you're from Connecticut?" And yeah, why? Oh, because I'm from Denver. No kidding, I said. Oh, it was fun.
Such a small world.
I hang out a lot with Ova.
Omar?
With Ova.
Oh, Ova, yeah, Eduardo.
Yeah, we spent like at least 2 nights. We were just chatting. The first night we were debating about how things get done over here in Connecticut, how things get done in California. It was exciting.
You see, that's the opportunity to get to meet other people. Ova's a solid guy. Remember, we went to dinner with him, Serge, right?
Yeah. Eduardo, he's awesome. Total solid guy.
Man, that's so cool that you got to meet up with him. And that's what it's all about. No other place, well, hopefully, besides the internet, could you meet somebody like that, coast to coast?
No, when I came back, the guys that I work with, they were all tell us all about how they was. We want to go next time. Definitely want to go next time. So next time I'm bringing a lot of people over.
We're excited. We're still working on where we're going to do it, either Dallas or Florida. So we're going to be at least a little closer.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to still see you in August?
Yes, the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm all on it.
And then you told your wife to bring the kids, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're a little bit wild, but
yeah, no, mine too. We're gonna do a little barbecue at the house, and I told them to bring some guys over.
I'm all on it.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. I'll let you rest up.
Thank you.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you, brother.
See you.
He's a solid dude. Oh man.
Cracking up the word bowling. That was.
Oh, at bowling he was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know there were so many people good at bowling. Like I didn't know that was like a hot thing to do.
Dude, the pylon tech team was getting into it, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh dude, yeah, they were.
There's a couple teams out there.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Man, no, I appreciate you guys. But that's all I want to talk about, unless you guys have any topics you want to bring up.
I'm good. I'm about to jump into a late night session because I've got some paperwork to do. But I love seeing y'all. What y'all keep doing, and love being part of this team and just really pushing. Let's get we're getting a lot of things off the ground and excited about seeing Energize Let's Grow and the next Grow convention. I mean, it's just going to be amazing.
It's going to be fun. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
All right. Have a good one, y'all.
Have a good night, everybody.